What's going on YouTube? It's Kayak Question today. Well, I'm going to be giving y'all a breakdown of my kayak. So I'm going to turn this camera around. There it is. That is a Oldtown Sportsman Autopilot 120. I can tell you guys, I've had this thing for about 4 years and I absolutely love this thing. So this video, I'm going to give y'all a breakdown of my kayak, and then I'm also going to just give my thoughts on the kayak. So let me turn this camera around. As y'all can see, I have a trailer to where the kayak sits on, and that's just an old jet ski trailer I got off of Facebook Marketplace. I have 12-inch tires right there, and I have myself some 3-inch PVC pipe right there, a piece of wood right there to hold it in place. And then I also, right below here, I'll show you, I have just pieces of 2x4 underneath the PVC pipe to support it, to support the trailer and the PVC pipe. So I'm gonna turn this around. Right here is, right off the bat, I'm gonna kind of start off the front. I have a rope right here to where when I'm pushing my kayak from the ramp, I push it off and then I pull it back to the ramp. So honestly, I just keep that rope tied on the entire time. As y'all can see, it's a little bit sun damaged, but I just keep it up there out of the way. So right here is a little dry compartment, which I really don't use. I don't have a use for it. I know that you could like feed wire, or like use it for wires, or if you want to put like dry stuff in there, like towels, maybe a first aid kit you could put in there. Personally, I just don't use it. I don't have a need for it. So the money maker for this kayak and what it was really made for is this trolling motor right here. That is a 45-pound thrust Minn Kota trolling motor. It has spot lock on it, and with this trolling motor I can go about 3 to 3.5 miles an hour. So I absolutely love that motor. The one thing I wish that was changed about it is the spot lock. When it is turning, when the head of that thing is turning, it is, in my opinion, it is a little too loud. And well, that's just something you gotta live. I think a lot of trolling motors out there do that, so I don't know if there's really much that they can do unless they kind of just remade it. I have no idea. But other than the spot lock thing, I absolutely love that motor. So we're going to go right here. That is the mount that I use for my camera, for which the second half, the top part right there, is actually what I'm holding in my hand. So that is the graph right here. That is a Garmin 10X SV Ultra 2, and that is, I absolutely love that graph. I started off with the 7-inch Garmin SV, and then when I got my live scope, I just moved up to the 10-inch one, for which I absolutely love. And there it is. That is the transducer arm. And with that, when I'm driving, I fold it up and I just have these rubber zip ties, for which I just use that and I just connect it to that right there. And also right here, you could have these compartments right here to where you could put your scissors, you can put your pliers. I keep my scale over there most of the time, but you also have these foot pedals right here, for which I kind of keep them up and out of the way just so it's kind of a flat surface right here. But you have the rudder in the back here, and that folds back, for which when I'm driving, of course, I keep it up, but the foot pedals maneuver the rudder right there. So it's pretty cool that you can have the trolling motor just facing forward, and then you can use your feet to just go left and right. It's pretty cool. I use it a lot when I'm like trolling, either my umbrella rigs or my crappie jigs, when I'm trying to get bait and stuff. It's really helpful. So that is the, for the trolling motor, that is the remote. I just keep that thing around my neck. Don't judge me, I got 2 scupper plugs stuck right there. I kind of just left them in there, and I just haven't gotten them out. So going right here, you have this cup holders right here, for which I really like the cup holders. I know a lot of people with this kayak, they kind of have an issue with there's no way to drain the water. If the water gets in the cup holders, simply you could just take a towel and just get all the water out of it. But that's not really a big issue with me. I like how big they are. You can kind of put any size cup that you want in there within reason, right? So beside the seat right here, you have a dry compartment, for which I love this dry compartment, which I keep my other scupper plugs, the 3 that's not stuck in there. And then that is the kill switch, which the kill switch goes, as I get stuck right there, that goes right here, and that trolling motor has to turn on for that kill switch to be intact right there. So it's, I have mixed feelings about the kill switch. I mean, it's very helpful. Like, hey, this thing is supposed to be attached to you, and if you accidentally fall off, then it kills the motor, for which, you know, it's helpful for which you fall out. It's not just going on down the lake. But I don't keep it attached to me. Maybe I should. But there's times where I'm like, why is my trolling motor not turning on? I forgot to plug in the kill switch right there. So I'm gonna put that thing back in my dry compartment. One thing I don't like about this is when I lift it up, sometimes it rubs up against the seat right there. I kind of wish they moved it out legit by like ½ a centimeter so it didn't rub the seat there. Now, it doesn't do it all the time. Sometimes if you just push the seat to the left, then it won't rub it. You know what I mean? But that's just a really small thing. But that is where the battery goes. I have a lifetime 12 volt 100 amp hour lithium battery that sits there in the seat, and it's pretty cool. That battery, I can connect it to my phone and I can see how much battery life I have in that motor, or not in the motor, in the battery. So it's really, really cool. I think I got it at Amazon. It's like 150 bucks. It's one of the cheaper lifetime, not cheaper lithium batteries, if I can get my words out. Now that seat, as y'all can tell, is raised up a little bit. So this right here, that is just pieces of 2x4 that I put on that seat so my hips are more lined up with my knees. Now before I added that to the seat, I was getting a little bit of back pain. Now when I did that about a year or two ago, it made the seat so much more comfortable. Now the seat risers that you could buy for this kayak or for that seat, ridiculous. I mean, you're talking about 30-40 bucks for like a piece of plastic like that. So I simply just cut some piece of 2x4 and I made the darn thing myself. So you have that. Now these are Atwood rod holders. As y'all can see, I drilled and bolted those rod holders into the kayak. Now it's just a piece of 1x4, and I have a piece of rubber mount, or a piece of rubber right there, kind of just to protect the kayak. Now as y'all can see, that rod holder ain't going anywhere. That's the exact same thing as the other side right there. Sorry about the wind noise, it's kind of a windy day. But when you get a catfish, or when you get a really big catfish, it puts a lot of torque onto the kayak, and it puts a lot of pressure. Let me show y'all. I have my rod right here. So if I don't like using those Gear Track, the Gear Track rod holders, because they're really just not made for big catfish takedowns. So let me show y'all. See how much, when I put pressure, you see how much torque that takes? So I've bolted those things, and I have had absolutely zero issues with you know, a rod getting ripped off. Now I'm gonna go to the other side right here. I'm gonna show you what I did with this front left rod holder. So again, that is an Atwood rod holder. Now that's a piece of 1x4 as well. Now I took this Gear Track completely off. I kept the right one just so I could have my fish finder and stuff. I took that off, and then I spray painted the wood black. As y'all can see, it's kind of faded from the sun. But that Atwood rod holder, I countersink the bottom bolts right there, and I have them sticking up, and then I just used the holes that was in the kayak before for the Gear Track, and excuse me, I simply just used those holes and just screwed them in, and that thing ain't going anywhere. I have had absolutely zero issues with a rod holder or a rod getting ripped off by a catfish. So I had to get creative, because there was no way that I could bolt or drill into the kayak and get underneath to put a bolt to support that rod holder. So I had to get creative. I have seen absolutely no one else out there do that. Again, sometimes you have to get creative. Now, here is the live scope transducer, for which I got this thing not too long ago, and there's a piece of wood right there. Now, that rod holder on the right side right there, that one, just like it was on this side, and I took that one off. I forgot to mention this, but the back, there was those rod holders on the front right that I showed you. Those were right here. I took those off and replaced them with those rod holders. But I took that off, and I just used the exact same holes that was in the kayak, so I could mount my ball mount right there for my live scope. So that live scope, I forgot to say this, but it is a LVS 34 live scope, and man, I wish I got that thing sooner. I've had it for about 1.5 years now. Totally worth your money, guys. I know it is expensive, but man, you can see your fish in real time. You can see the fish going down and chase your jig. It surprises me on how many fish look at your jig and not bite it, or just simply, you know, a piece of cut bait and the fish does not eat it. It absolutely blows my mind. But I will try to keep some of the stuff, or a lot of the stuff that I have for this kayak, in the description below. But I got that thing off of Amazon. It was a pretty penny, but it was so worth it. Before, I had one that was handmade, and then it was like made out of PVC, for which it was great, but it just kept squeaking. So I replaced it with this one. That is a 1.5 inch ball mount right there, for which that's the same ball mount that I have for my fish finder up there. And this is a place where I keep my fishing stuff, just boxes. I don't like keeping a big bag with me, just simply, one, it takes up more space, and two, I really don't need a ton of fishing supplies while I'm out there on the water. Mainly I do ultralight fishing and I do catfishing. Sometimes, you know, I'll troll for, you know, white bass and stuff, but I really don't need that much stuff. Now, underneath here you have this compartment. As you can see, there's cords right there, and I'll show you all here in a minute why. But the black box for the live scope is underneath there, and it's just velcroed underneath the seat, and I have all the cords going down, you know, into the kayak. It goes my fish finder, it goes my live scope. And also, I should have said this before, but that piece of wood right there, I made an indention right there for the cord so it can freely go in and out. You do not want to put pressure or bend that cord, because if you do, you could potentially ruin your live scope transducer, because I don't think there's really a way that you could fix it. And then also I forget what it's called, but it's like a protection thing to where it covers the cord to where it does not get damaged or anything. I take extra precaution to protect, because a lot of this stuff, you know, like I said, is expensive, so you really do not want to damage anything if you can help it, right? So here is, you know, that cord I was telling you about. That is the cooler that I use for my bait. Kind of wish I got a little bit of a smaller one, but that's okay. And then here is the crate that I have back here. I have my net right here, and I have some of my fishing rods right here. But that is an Epoch battery that I keep in there. It's a different battery than that one. It's a long story, but that battery I keep in that crate, and I have pieces of PVC pipe right there, for which I've spray painted black. As you can see, I didn't do the absolute best job. It's hard to get the inside of them because, you know, it's spray paint or whatever, but I kind of keep some supplies. I keep my Dragon sinkers right there. I keep some sunblock. I have my sunglasses right there. What else do I have in here? Oh yeah, I got my umbrella right there too. But that battery is for my fish finder. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but I keep my rods back here. And then there's also, I don't have this in here, but I keep my bag for like my lunch, water, and food and stuff back there. What else I got? I got right here a Yak Attack, so I bend it right there. A Yak Attack flag right there, for which it's very helpful because you can simply just turn that thing and then if you're like out in the water past dark, you simply just turn the thing. It's just battery operated, and it's actually a light. It's pretty cool. I actually kind of like it. It connects to the gear track right there. Yeah, what am I missing? Oh yeah, you got this little clip right there for your paddle forks. I don't use it that much just because I have the motor, but if I need to like get to the ramp or something, then I'll kill the motor and then I'll just paddle my way to the ramp. But what else? Is there anything I forgot? Got the seat right there, for which I think I said this, but that seat is super comfortable. I like how wide it is to where, you know, I don't feel like I'm crunched in the seat. I have a spare tire underneath the mounted on the trailer right there, just in case if you get like a hole in your tire, which has happened to me before. Someone had to come save me, but I got that thing. One thing that I have to give 100% props about this kayak is the stability. My goodness, this kayak is super stable. I mean, I can stand up, I can throw the cast net, I can stand up, I can land big catfish. I mean, the whole of it is like a pontoon. It just, the stability on this thing is absolutely incredible. What else I got? Another thing I like this kayak is there's a lot of just floor space. I like how flat it is, and you know, you have plenty of room to put your stuff. Is there anything else? I think that's pretty much it. I have the winch right here, for which I just crank it. I need to get a new strap for it, but I think that's pretty much it. That's my truck right there. It's a 2008 Toyota Tacoma. Absolutely love the thing. But yeah, I think that's going to go ahead and wrap up this video, guys. I hope y'all found it helpful and also just informative on how I have my kayak set up, and maybe give y'all some pointers, and maybe y'all get this kayak too, guys. So I hope y'all enjoyed today's video, and don't forget, go catch 'em. Peace.